Hey guys, today I'm going to demonstrate how to make bruschetta. First thing I'm going to do is prepare my tomatoes. I've got Roma tomatoes that I'm using today. With them, I'm going to prepare something called a concasse. What that is basically a tomato that is prepared and ready to dice up. So what we're going to do first to make our concasse is actually score our tomatoes. We're going to do so by just making a little X on the top of the tomatoes, like so. I'm going to do that with each of my tomatoes. Then I'm going to blanch them. When you blanch tomatoes, you are putting them in boiling hot water. My water is starting to boil behind me. So I will have the tomatoes in the boiling water for about 30 to 40 seconds. Right after they are done boiling, which you'll watch me demonstrate today, I'll have a slotted spoon and I'm going to move them into this bowl of ice water that I have prepared. When the tomatoes go from the boiling hot water right into the ice water, they are shocked. From that happening, you let them sit for about a minute in the ice water, and then it'll be really easy to peel your tomatoes, dice them up, get rid of anything that you don't want. So you're getting rid of the skin, you can get rid of the seeds as well, and that is how you create a concasse. After that, I will make my mixture of my bruschetta. This will be a 2-day lab in class. So the first day we're preparing our tomatoes and we're preparing our topping. So we're also going to mince up some onion and just a little bit right here. We'll add some herbs and spices, oregano to that, some olive oil. We'll let that sit overnight. Then the next day, day 2, we'll come in and we'll toast up our bread. We'll put our bruschetta mixture on our bread along with some Parmesan cheese. Mix that together, put it on our bread. We'll bake it, we'll take it out, we'll add a little bit more mozzarella cheese, bake it until that mozzarella cheese is melted, and then there you go, you've got your bruschetta. So here we go. I'm gonna finish scoring these tomatoes. Alright, so now I have all of my tomatoes. They've been scored, or they have that little X cut into the top of them. I've got boiling water, and then I've got an ice bath right over here. So tomatoes are going to go into the boiling water. Be careful not to splash yourself. Tomatoes are going into the boiling water. And actually, let's lower them in with a slotted spoon. That's a better idea. And they're going to sit in there for about 30 to 40 seconds. So they are blanching right now. This is called blanching. Let them sit in the boiling water, and then we'll transfer them into the ice water, which really shocks them and makes for a good, easy tomato to cut in your concasse. You can already see they've kind of split a little bit right into the water for a couple minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. That one's definitely starting to like shrivel up, which is good. Makes it for an easy peel. So again, like I learned, let's lower them in nicely with the slotted spoon so none of the hot water bounces back at you. So. Thank you. I'm gonna take that from out. So when you're making a concasse too, some recipes are going to tell you just to score the top like I did. Some recipes, however, might tell you to cut the whole center out, to take a knife, dig it in, cut the whole center out. Really, it's up to you. As you can see, the skin definitely peels off very nicely all around the tomato. So next up, let them sit for another minute or two, and then I'll show you how easy the tomatoes are to cut. They're going to be a whole lot less slimy. They're going to have a better overall, rougher texture, so they're going to be easier to chew and also easier to cut. So since we're talking about vegetables this unit, remember that garlic comes in a bulb like this. And garlic is an aromatic vegetable, also known as a bulb vegetable. So we're going to go ahead and separate. If we tear the outer layers off, we'll see that we can separate our bulb of garlic into different cloves. Hopefully this is a review when I go over and demonstrate how to cut, or excuse me, how to mince up our garlic. So we crush it, remember, to get rid of all the paper outside. Then we just have our garlic. I'm going to do it to the next clove as well. And then for this recipe, again, our cut is going to be a mince. So we're mincing it into small little pieces. First I'll slice it. Does that smell good, Peyton? Can you smell the garlic? It's got a very strong scent. Again, it is a bulb vegetable and also an aromatic because it's got that strong scent. Does it smell yummy? So like I said, all of your toppings are going to go into a bowl on day one. So we've got our minced up garlic. Get it all in there. Next, we're going to add, I'm actually adding Italian seasoning. Your recipe tells you to add just oregano. Italian seasoning is just a mix of oregano, basil, thyme, different seasonings, so that's going to work for us as well. We're going to add some olive oil. Some balsamic vinaigrette. We're also going to add some crushed black pepper. So I'm just going to add it to taste. As you can see, it's coming out of the dispenser here. The recipe tells me to use just 1/4 of a teaspoon, and I'm actually doubling that today. That should be good. So again, in here so far, I have the minced up garlic, I have Italian seasonings, the pepper, black pepper, olive oil, and balsamic vinaigrette. One more main ingredient to go, our tomatoes. All right, our tomatoes are right here in the bowl of ice water. Like I said, they've been sitting for about 2 to 3 minutes. It's time to chop up our tomatoes, making our tomato concasse. Like I said, nice and easy to peel now. Look at that. Okay, and we're just gonna start by, after peeling, of course, slice it right there down the center. And like I mentioned before, normally when you cut tomatoes, they're kind of difficult to do because they're a little bit more slimy of a fruit, right? Tomatoes are considered to be a fruit type of vegetable, right? So they are, because they have seeds, that's where the debate comes in. Anything with a seed technically is considered to be a fruit. However, there is a vegetable category called fruit vegetables, and that would be any vegetable that has a seed, like we've discussed in class. So from here, I'm just going to keep dicing. And then that tip there, some people, like I said, will dig it out, cut it out before they even blanch or boil their tomatoes. You'll just set that aside. You can even, on the other side, you can just kind of cut that out and then cut around it. So as you can see, the seeds are all on the inner cuts like that, so you can real easily just cut that white part away. You can use it if you'd like. Some people don't like using the seeds, mostly because of a texture thing. But if you want to use them, you totally can. But I'm just going to go ahead and dice all of the tomatoes I have in this bowl like that. And the white part of the tomato doesn't have a lot of flavor, doesn't have a lot of nutrients. That's where the seeds sit on in the tomato, so you can just toss the white part. You're also going to toss the skins, or the outer layer of the tomato. Everything else you can use. We've still got our mixture sitting over here, and as we are dicing up our tomatoes, we'll just be adding them to the mixture. Like so. It smells really good. Just stir it up.